Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. Since I am in front of the projector, you're watching through my chest. This is a Wanbo Mozart 1 Pro 2025 edition. So it is kind of like a long time waiting list, kind of like a product because everybody wants Android 4K playback, high brightness, good speaker, all these combinations. And right now they've added a gimbal to it. So it's kind of like a long time upgrading list waited for a default Wanbo Mozart 1 as we know it. I'm going to check everything in the full review so you can ask your questions before my full review finishes. Still it's in its progress, but I want to release the full audio test. If you know the channel, I'm about to test this device for 15 to maybe 20 minutes. So you're going to listen to this device's audio quality. This has passive bass driver on the side, and let me just rotate it so you can see it. As you can see, we got the passive drive on the side. So this device looks really cool, but is it going to sound good enough? So it's going to try to autofocus. Meanwhile, I'm going to close the rest of the setup. So I'm going to show you also the autofocus. As you can see, when you move it around, it just recognizes it. You're hearing my voice through an echo. The reason is I'm using an omnidirectional microphone inside of the studio. In a bit, you're going to watch the picture quality and also the audio quality through the speaker. The distance between omnidirectional recording microphone and the Wanbo Mozart 1 Pro 2025 is about 50 to 60 centimeters as a default. Normally, if you place it, sit right beside it, it's about that distance, or kind of like put it onto a bookshelf style. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Home Cinema and Tech Review channel. From there, I have the created playlist, and from here, I got the music playlist for testing. And also I have the Dolby Atmos test. So we are going to do everything. Let's just start it. Don't waste any time. Just don't focus on the audio amount, but focus on audio quality. So I got to dim the exposure so you can see the picture because the brightness is high. This is a 100-inch image. I dimmed the exposure down. Let's start. I'm going to move the audio levels through the video. Just focus on the quality. Get yourself an earbud on headphone. Let's dive in. So it's on the commercials. I'm going to skip this part. Okay. Let's start. going to stop here for a second and remind you, piano is something very difficult for acoustically create without a distortion, because the sound is quite difficult, analog sound, and you know what I mean probably if you heard probably piano from any speaker. So I'm going to continue, but the focus on the audio volume level, and I'm going to change the modes. Sorry for the commercial. In this scene, again, I want to pause and make things clear. This is a very acoustic recording, and the depth and the bass could easily understand with earbud or headphone if you got one. So I'm going to play it again. Just be careful a little bit more. So we're going to change the modes.
sorusuyla
So this section is kind of over, and what we are going to do is for another list that we are testing the audio different specs for projectors and TVs. This contains about Dolby Atmos, different experiences. So let's try, give it a shot.
Magnum. Bakalım Ariel zorlu leke...
For sake of having no copyright issue, I'm just going to select a scene in this case. Let's try.
Fear, Prime. There is a darkness coming.
So, in terms of any problems, this scene also cancelled. So, what I'm going to do, open up, get in front of the camera as usual. So let's just adjust the brightness accordingly. So I'm going to get in front of the camera. In conclusion, if you want to buy a Wanbo Mozart 1 Pro 2025 version, I can tell you this speaker is loud enough for a room size like this, 25 to 30 square meters, maybe even a little bit bigger. If you're sitting close to it, sound comes too much. It might become too much to your ears. In the scenes of especially Dolby Atmos tests, I felt like this is too much. Like I was going for 90%. I guess probably general users will spend probably 60 to 75% of the power output of this device. So in that case, if you're wondering this is going to be enough for you, in a dedicated cinema room, of course, I highly recommend you to get yourself over 200 watts of speaker setup. That way you can really feel the bass deeply in everywhere around the room. But if you're going to stick it as a casual projector, use it as a single device. This device performs quite good and you probably heard it from the beginning. So ask your questions before the full review, and if you want to learn anything, again, before the full review. This is not a video that gets any additional income to the channel because of the copyrighted audio levels and tests. The videos that I've used is not making me able to publish this video with a monetization. So in this case, this is kind of like a free video for you guys. So I don't get anything at all. But I want you to hear and listen to the audio quality because you're going to pay some quite good amount of money compare where you're looking at things. But since this is an all-in-one projector, we gotta respect it as it is. And with the price range, you're going to get a good speaker, decent bass, good speaker, good bass, a gimbal. If you want to buy it additionally, this is not coming with the device. Good casing, power adapter outside, and also sealed optical element with 4K YouTube playback and a lot of the other stuff. So you gotta judge it by the price and what you are getting as a whole package. I hope this video helped. And my conclusion is, yes, I felt a bass is a little bit lacking compared to the huge picture, but it's all about, majority of lifestyle projectors. You can't really match like 100 or 200 huge speakers setup, dedicated speaker setup. But since you're going to pick this up and go somewhere, place it, you're going to be happy with overall results. And for the price, I can give it a thumbs up, and I want to know what you think about it when you listen to it. Like, modes really change stuff if you ask my personal taste. Standard is quite decent, but I prefer the music because it's a little bit more, feelable on the bass side. But if you're watching movie and Dolby Atmos kind of like stuff, I prefer movie. A movie, just a little bit of like feeling of the JBL Bluetooth speakers, they tend to have a harsh bass, or LG, like Bluetooth boom speakers. They tend to have like boom boom effect, like they have to hit the bass more. So if you choose the movie, bass and general audio goes to like punchiness instead of the detail. If you want some like mid-ground for listening music I think ideal. And also it could be best for a lot of people for general use scenario, but you can tweak it out. You've seen the menu. Personally, I prefer music in the mid-ground, but I would push every time if I'm going to game on this, like playing a console, or if I'm going to watch a movie, I would put the movie and try it first because of the depth of the audio really change and it really adds stuff. But you can also tune it to your taste. It's your personal taste. And if you buy this device, share your equalizer settings so people can try it out for free. Information is going to grow when you share it. So I hope to see you in the next video. Wait for the full review. Until the next video, as always, I'm going to repeat it. Bye from Cinema and Tech Review, and hoşça kalın from Turkey, Istanbul. And you can like and subscribe to the channel now. I'm waiting if you haven't subscribed yet. Bye.